Okay, so this is Carrollwood, and I'm gonna drive past the house that Michael Jackson died in, which is this home. You can't really see it. It's a really, really beautiful home, but you can't really see it. Here's a satellite image of 100 North Carrollwood Drive, and this is the front entrance just as you go beyond the gates that I showed you and drove past. The back pool area looks really elegant and beautiful, although you can't see it from the street. And according to USA Today, here is the actual bed and bedroom where Michael Jackson died. I'll show you the side of it. This is the side of the house. So you can kind of see it a little bit, like this is the garage and stuff like that. And then this is the garden area, but Michael Jackson actually died in this property. So, anyway, we're actually not far from the house that I'm actually going to show you, which is Lucille Ball's house. So anyway, this is like a really nice area. This is where Holmby Hills pretty much starts and where Beverly Hills kind of begins. So, yep, there it is, Beverly Hills city limit. So this is like where it starts. That is the Lucille Ball house, and I'll take a quick walk. That was Jack Benny's house, and then this one was Peter Falk's house. Here, this home was once Peter Falk's house, and he played Columbo on television, and I'm sure he's done a lot of other things. And if you want to look at her house, Lucille Ball's, or any of these homes on a map, you're going to start off over on that corner, which is 1000 North Roxbury Drive. That's her home. This is Jack Benny's next door. This one was Peter Falk's house. And then you could actually see like the square footage and everything. They're quite large. Like really old Rolls Royce. So maybe Peter Falk's family still lives there and they just inherited the home. Who knows? And then the next house that we'll be visiting in a second will be the home of Jack Benny, who was Lucille Ball's neighbor, obviously, for a very long time. In fact, there's an interview that you could YouTube where Lucy and Vivian Vance are talking, and the King of Siam, I guess, was coming through this area, and they went into Lucy's house, and she shares a story where Vivian Vance was saying, "Oh my God, we thought there were all these police and sirens. We thought something was happening at Jack Benny's house." And this was Jack Benny's house. And then coming up here is going to be the Lucille Ball house. And as you could see across the street, there's a really lovely home too. It's really long, and you go in through the middle area. And this is the corner, of course, of Lexington and Roxbury. And here is my part 2 of Lucille Ball's house. I don't know who the owners are, but forever they've had these Mercedes. So it must be, I'm guessing it's the same owners. So again, you're on Lexington and Roxbury. This is actually Roxbury. And I'll do a quick shot through it, or across of it. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. And as you know, it has been definitely remodeled. They kept the outside structure pretty much the same, but they've remodeled the home quite extensively. They made it more modern on the outside. The entrance is definitely different, and that's the property that she got with Desi Arnaz, and also lived there until she died. She died at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. That's the back of Lucy's house. Wow. This is a house that was 2 lots. They tore it down to build this really large home. Can you guess whose this is? It's from It's a Wonderful Life, a very beloved movie star, and the house is humongous. Like, it is a double lot. And again, this is such a beautiful block, you know, Roxbury and Lexington. But anyway, it's a double lot, and it's like gargantuan. If you look at it, it's look at it on Zillow or one of those maps and you'll see how large it is. It's huge, 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 huge. Why can't I think of that guy's name? You know, I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, believe it or not. Gosh, maybe this commentary is too much. I'm just here narrating. I'm just excited to be back here in my neighborhood. And here's an aerial view of 918 North Roxbury Drive, the site of what was once Jimmy Stewart's house, one of the biggest movie stars of all time. The house is now rebuilt, it's much larger, and it's now for sale if you want to buy it for $42.5 million. And for those of you who are considering, here is the first floor plan. Okay, now we're at Benedict Canyon, and I have a friend that used to live, she still does, I don't really talk to her, but she lives up in the mountains up there. But this house, 1230 Benedict Canyon, was another beloved person's home, and this was the house of Elizabeth Montgomery. So as you could see, the house is pretty far removed from busy Benedict Canyon Drive. Elizabeth Montgomery is mostly remembered from Bewitched, among other things like the legend of Lizzie Borden. She was a really beautiful woman, and I think a good soul as well. But I'm not sure who lives in it anymore. Anyway. So. That's 1230 Benedict Canyon. I wonder who lives there now. And this is the side gate. So it's all connected. And she actually died in this house. Okay, so this is Charo's house right here. And you know, she's really funny, and this is a Spanish Mediterranean house, and it's a really interesting place. She used to have a bull in her house, believe it or not, but it's a really, really nice place, and it's on the corner of Lexington and Benedict Canyon Drive, in a really nice area. It's 2 houses away from Lucille Ball's on Lexington Drive. So here on Summit Drive is the legendary, this is called the Pickfair Estate, which was Mary Pickford's house from silent films, and I believe it was Pia Zadora's house at one point, but it's a really, really gorgeous home. You'll see here from the stairs that this is like, and then you'll be able to see the house in a little bit better detail from this end, which I'll make a U-turn here so you could check it out. But this is what was once the Pickfair Estate, and it's, you know, still gets a lot of tour buses and stuff like that coming around. It's here on Summit Drive, and you can't miss it because of all these. In pink coming up is the house that they used from The Godfather and The Bodyguard. So it is an incredible home. You can't really see much from here because it goes way, way in, and then you have to look at it. This home, which belonged to William Randolph Hearst's mistress, was a honeymoon vacation location for JFK and Jackie Kennedy. You've probably seen this house in The Bodyguard and also in The Godfather. It's officially hit the market for $135 million. This is Reedcrest Drive, and this is Bette Midler's house. I'm not sure if she still owns the property because she spends most of her time in New York City. Apparently, the Northridge earthquake scared the shit out of her, and so she moved to New York, and I'm not even sure if she even owns this property anymore, but this is Bette Midler's house. You could see it a little bit better up here. It's kind of hidden. It's not a very large home, but it's, you know, pretty nice. The window's open, so somebody's home. But that is Bette Midler's house. Okay, this is a really, really beautiful area. So this is Crescent Drive, and it's off of Lexington. I think this house was like Giorgio Armani's or some designer. I honestly do not remember, but it's actually a really beautiful house. You're gonna see a colonial house. There are many beautiful homes here on Crescent Drive, including this one. This is a colonial home, and it was built in 1912. It sits at 1006 North Crescent Drive. It was the home of Humphrey Bogart and Charo Lombard. The house looks very much like it did back in the day and back when it was built, except there's obviously a lot more traffic around the home. As we come down from like the Virginia Robinson Gardens, this big French chateau looking house that you're gonna see right in front of me, that's the mayor of Beverly Hills' home. Her name is Lily Bossy. I kind of know her. She's my Facebook friend. Hi, Lily, if you're watching. And John Bossy. It's actually a very, very, very beautiful home. I've been inside of it, and it is stunning. It's 1017 North Crescent. If you could actually hear the zoo from the animals. I'm not sure if it's there yet anymore, since Hugh Hefner died and sold the house. But you'll see the front gates, the famous front gates. There's the rock where you can talk to the rock, you know? And then that's the front gate. So I'll show you what it looks like from here. You can kind of see the entrance there. And that is the Playboy Mansion. Obviously, I can't get anywhere inside of it or anything. I don't even know who owns it because it was sold, I believe, recently. So here's a little bit of a better view. The Playboy Mansion was purchased in 1971 by Hugh Hefner for $1.1 million. It has 22,000 square feet and has hosted lavish parties since. It sold in 2016 for $100 million. So here we are at the edge of the street of Marilyn Monroe's cottage. So it was this one, 12305 5th Helena Court. And it's in a cul-de-sac. And they're building a house right next door. Pretty interesting. So this would have been her front gate, and that's her house in there. There is a security camera. Oh, there it is. Here's an aerial view of her modest 3,000 square feet hacienda, which is pretty small in comparison to other celebrities' homes, especially for Los Angeles. Alright, so as you go around the curve, this is where the Marilyn Monroe grave is. And here we are. Marilyn Monroe is interred here. As you could see, all these lipstick marks. People leave lipstick, and forever this tomb was empty. And now it finally has Hugh Hefner's name on it. Anyway, so yeah, Mapleton is super, super nice. All of the homes here. There's, I think they fixed it. Then you're going to see one of the largest homes in the United States, which is this one here. That's the side of the Spelling house, known as the Manor from before. It's been completely renovated, and it looks a lot better than how it used to be since Ecclestone bought it. But that is the Spelling house. I'm sure you could recognize this house. It's at 245 Saltaire Avenue. Hold on, let me get out of that sunlight a little bit. Yep, it's the Golden Girls house. So this is the house that was modeled after. I don't know why. If anybody knows why, put it in the comments. But it was modeled after this, and then it went over to a set in Florida that they used, which was pretty close to a duplicate of this. But it's a nice house. 245 North Saltaire. Here off of Sunset Boulevard, which is right over there in Brentwood. Interesting, right? All my years living in LA, I didn't even know.